There has been a few things change in the middle of the base. Hello, everybody. This is Frogman. Welcome back to Feed the Beast Genesis. Yes, at the end of, well, the beginning of last episode, I kind of spoke on how I wasn't all that happy about the fact that, we had to. they cheated and they told us that we weren't using channels and what we were using, all that kind of fun stuff. So I went ahead and turned it on, which caused me a massive headache and pain, but I am now doing things the way that I like to be doing it. So again, this is totally on me, totally on how I like to do things, but channels are actually functional now. We're actually capable of seeing things, as we can see on this line right here. I believe there's 7 channels on that particular P2P system going on, and it takes care of all of this and this and that. I'm going to have to do a little bit of separation possibly and moving a couple of things around, but again, it's a puzzle that I enjoy. I know a lot of people don't like channels, and I know a lot of people like the refined storage based on that whole deal. I prefer the usability of applied energistics based on some of the stuff that happens. Overall, applied energistics is faster when it moves things around. So when you cram something in, I can't touch it because I found out that somebody was kind enough to give us connected glass covers, which is amazing. If you cram these interfaces, any of the interfaces, so the export buses, the import buses, and all those kinds of things, full of the acceleration cards, it's near instant transport across dimension, period, space and or time. So if you're trying to build something that needs to work very, very, very quickly or move things very, 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 very quickly, if you're looking at digital storage, applied energistics absolutely knocks refined storage out of the park when it comes to speed. So it's one of those things I'd rather use applied energistics when I can, just because of that particular function. And I also just like the UI a little better. Everything seems to work. It's just my little mod. So it's my little mod. It's mine. It's what I like. It's how I do things. And there's been some serious upgrades over the years, which are really, really, really nice as far as things go. So what we ended up with last time was we were working on trying to get into the end, which means we were working first off on trying to make a plasma cell. That plasma cell has since been created. It took it probably the amount of time we were playing around in the nether to do. And then this thing, once it gets its section here full of plasma, then has to run through a cycle where it pushes everything down the line into said plasma cell. So we have our plasma cell. We can craft the first thing that we need to craft, which is going to be a plasma core, which it should be able to do no problem, because I should have all of those parts sitting in there. And the really bad thing about it is, because of the way this particular thing is going, I need to add all of the extra parts. So we need some more magnets and we need some more advanced alloys. So 2 magnets a corner, and I think it's 4 for each. Is it going to let me craft it in there? All right, very cool. Plasma core, and we'll go ahead and just hand that in so that we have it ready to go. There's one thing. Then we have to do breaching the barrier, and I'm assuming based on that texture, since it doesn't technically tell me what I should be seeing, I mean, it's echoes across the void and view dependencies and all those things. Based on that texture, that is ether gas. This stuff. It's the same deal. This is from Industrial Foregoing, and this would spark along the line of the thought of what, as far as the difficulty that they're kind of throwing at us, that they would have us do to be able to go to the end. For those of you that have ever or don't know what we're doing with the ether gas, let me walk through this, because I've only done it once or twice, because I generally don't find that what you need the ether gas for in the end of things, as far as Industrial Foregoing is concerned, to be necessary most of the time. But anyhow, ether gas. If we click on ether gas and we look at ether gas in this particular pack, that will give us the infinity nuke, that will give us supreme machine frames, and that will also give us the cognizant dust, of which I don't think there's a single use for us in this particular pack. We're probably going to end up finding out that there's a whole lot of more fun stuff going to happen with the mystical agriculture once we get done with the end, because I see this. So it's kind of half the reason why I want to go over here, is because if I get to have some of this other fun stuff, then maybe we'll play a little bit more. Maybe we'll have fun with the mystical agriculture. Maybe we won't. But anyhow, as far as everything else goes in here, so you get a this will let you build withers. Big whoop, we don't need them, because I don't think the Wither Killer, or the thing that is in the pack, that's in the mod that automatically kills mobs, is available, so we have to come up with another way of doing that. Big whoop-de-doo at this point in time. Again, black hole tank that holds an enormous amount of fluids, black hole controllers, and should be black hole units. So like the top tier level of stuff right there that holds, what is that, 2 billion items, I think, whatever it is. It doesn't really matter. Again, 500,000, if I get to 500,000 on any one of these things, I'm going to be absolutely ecstatic with this pack, because that means we were doing things better than I expected us to be doing things. So that's pretty cool. Anyhow, we have a problem, and in order to get the ether gas, as it stated, I guess what I should say here is it requires to have a laser fluid drill placed over the top of a wither, so we're theoretically mining the wither. We're going to feed it a reasonable amount of power, and it's going to give us a slow amount of ether gas. My goal by the end of today is that I have this all set up and this thing running, and depending on how long it wants to take, is going to do whatever it is. So I've already spent an hour, or at least hour and a half, on my own time doing the fix for this mess. Again, I used to think you could use dense cables to run all of that kind of stuff through it, but you can't apparently anymore, so I had to run single lines down to the various things. But everything should be functional. Everything should be back to where it was, and it's using channels, which just makes my heart feel better. That's all. I know. I'm insane. We have a project. In which case I've already crafted all the stuff that I needed to craft. So let's look at all of these. The biggest pain here for us in this particular pack is the laser fluid base, or the thing where the lasers point in. And we can make more laser drills if we feel like it. I'm just going to set this up and let it run. It needed a laser tractor beam. And a laser tractor beam is a personal chest with a laser amplifier, which is, again, some mechanism stuff. These are how you jumpstart a fusion reactor in Mechanism. These are part of the way that you do this, or at least these are the things that you point together to point at the fusion reactor after you've pointed the lasers at them. These things right there, those. So it's pretty cool. Anyhow, that was the hardest part of the whole thing as far as those go. The laser drills, that's a bog standard recipe that just requires a simple machine frame with some latex and some fun stuff. And then, of course, the thing that you need in order to hold the fellow in place. And do you need this? No. I'm going to use it because it's going to make our lives a little bit easier, given the fact that withers can be a little bit of a pain in the butt. So a stasis chamber, what a stasis chamber does, and I guess I can put this down and show a little bit. We need a little bit of power. Power. I think I can do it right there, perhaps. I don't know where the bats are coming from. All of a sudden, I got bats everywhere. Anyhow, what a stasis chamber does is if you kick the hide area, or show working area, come on, let me see it. You should see a box above the top of it. And what that does is it slows the movement of anything. I think if you look at me, I'm squatting or whatever. It slows the movement of anything that is standing in that particular area by quite a bit, and will hold whatever's in this location in place dead center over the top of this thing. So that's what we're going to use to make our lives easier. I'm also going to use something I've not used in a really, and I'm really kidding you not, long time, which is RF Tool shields. We don't have any wither-proof blocks that we can make right now. So that means I get to do something I haven't gotten to do in a long time, which is make a wither containment system out of RF Tool shields, which is some of the fun stuff that back in the day we used to use all the time. You can kill them with these things, which is pretty neat. I also went ahead and infused it to 100%. Should I decide we need to be able to start, once we get done drilling this thing out, if we need to start having a ton of nether stars killed the hard way, or made the hard way, we can do it this way. However, nether stars in this pack, I do believe, because of what we have, you can craft them. If I click on the right button, you can craft nether stars. So if you need nether stars, you can just craft them. All we need for right now is to go into the nether, set up this little process, and hopefully not lose the first one. Because with my luck, I'll lose the first one. But anyhow, let's go into the nether. I have set up I've set up a quick teleport so that it stays out of this important area. We'll go over there, and then we'll come right up here, I think, probably on top of this area, and build this structure. So let me get to that. It's going to take a little bit of thinking and then a little bit of work. And I start with that. So everything is going to exist around that stasis chamber. Let me build a little bitty thing right here, and we'll go on from there. Probably just build it right now, and we can, you know, just go from there. Okay, so with all that set up, I'm going to toss some of this stuff down. Skystone's incredibly hard as far as things go. It's one of those blocks that you can sometimes get away with using as far as things not blowing things up, but it may or may not withstand this. I don't know. It's been a really long time. So what we do, we build us a little bitty kind of a thing, sort of like this. Let me get down and we can take a look at it. So the frame of this, essentially what this is all going to do is it's going to connect to a central controller that I'm going to place down here that I don't want to get blown up. These are not expensive normally, so this is just a bunch of obsidian redstone, and I'm doing this because I want to make sure that I have enough coverage. Again, it's just a little deal that you just set up and you hook it up, you build it, and you do whatever. I'm going to place it down right there. So what the shield controller is going to do is it's going to look at all of these interconnected shield blocks. I'm going to do a single shield this time. Most of the time what I will do is I will do 2 shield controllers. If I have to get in here and these break instantly, they're actually a really good scaffolding block. If you need to do stuff like that, they're really great for that. They don't cost a lot either. Once again, if I click the right button, you get 8 of them for a little bit of wool and some glass. So for what it's worth, this is powered wither protection. It might be a little small. I hope it's not. Generally with withers, I like to build my chambers 4 tall so that when it does go bang, it has no ability to be able to glitch through the top of anything. And again, these things can be set up to do some stuff. So we have a regular little room right here, and I'm going to just build it down 1 because I'm being careful. I do not want this in place right now, because of the fact when this thing goes bang, there's a very good chance that it can pop everything that's attached to this. So what we have to do is we have to set this up, we have to get it running, and then we have to build him in there and hope this all works. So I need some parts. Let's go ahead and start with the first little thing, which is we need to teach this or tell it what you need to do. Once you have your structure built as to how you want it, you take your wrench and you left click on the structure. And as you can see, I've already got a little bit of power in it, so it's running right now. Normally this would just go white, or it would just go blank. It would just all disappear. So that is our shield. That's going to do the work for us. What we need to do in here specifically right now, and I've got a lot of time. I've got plenty of time to kind of play around with this. I need to set this to solid hostile. What you can do again in here is you can do solid damage, which means whatever you spawn inside that thing will take damage, and you can tell it what kind of damage you want to do, and you can add looting to it as well, which is pretty cool. This is, again, one of those old ways we used to do this stuff. So solid, damage, hostile, and I want to leave it on all the time. And again, you can change what it looks like, so it can look like rain or shield, and change your colors or default texture. You can even apply a block to it to make it look however you want to. This is going to be a one-time use thing. We're going to do this long enough to make the bucket or 2 or 3 of this stuff that we need, and then that's it. So the next step I need to do while we're in here looking at this mess is I need to build a block probably right about there. And I think if I'm lucky, I can make this work. I need the parts for a wither. And since it's on and it's passed to me, I can do a little bit more goofing if I really cared to do it. Where's all my stuff? What did I do with this? Give me some more. Thank you. Since we've done all this work now, it should allow me to start this right here. Where are we at? Where's the center? Here, here, there. Okay. And then I should be able to do something like so. And if I do that, I can stand up in here. Again, I'm not placing any of the stuff around here, and for that matter, I might go ahead and put it as solid. I usually don't like to do that, but we'll just do this like this, okay? We'll get him going, and how much power do I have in you? You still have lots of power. Okay. For now, again, I don't have this set up right now where I want it, and I probably should go ahead and do this real quick just so that we have power where we need power. Actually, we're going to put it over a block. I want it reasonably far away from everything. This is fine. If this gets dropped or broken, we can make another one. Whole point is to try to keep him contained. So let's go do this. I'll go set up this, and I'll be right back. Okay, should be good to go there. I forgot I had to hit the add button. And it'll let you type out all the things that you need to type out and do all the stuff in here. We have a problem. This is not working. Why? Why are you not working? Thought this worked over dimension. Hello? Does this not work over dimension? Well, that's lovely. Go. No. There. Awesome. Alright, well, I gotta do some more work then to make that functional. Give me a little bit. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a couple of those. We'll stick this over here. And that means if I wanted to, I could get rid of all the cyclic stuff. But the cyclic stuff seems to work reasonably quickly and easily. I'll just plug you in. I am going to replace you. Hang on one second. Quantum Entangloporter can go right there and to the west of us. West side. Power, energy. Sure. Set. Cool. Did you connect? You did. Alright, let's go try that. So instead of this, we will use a Quantum Entangloporter. Right there. Set on this. Set. Can you please? Output on every side. On power. Output on every side. That should fill that up. Alright, cool. So we now have all the power that we need. How badly did I build this into a chunk? Alright, well, we'll see what happens with all this. I may just sit here and AFK in a little box, but sure, we should be good to go now. That'll do the work. All I gotta do is get in here. This should be solid. Yeah, solid to hostile. I mean, if you wanted to test it, you can grab one of these guys and stick them in there, and they won't be able to get out of it, and then they'll eventually die, but I don't want to do that with these guys because they might try to kill me. So we should be good. Solid hostile, everything's in, added, done. All I gotta do in there is go add, well, I gotta get back in the thing. Way to go. Let me, 1, 2, 3. And if we're lucky, he won't blow everything up. You're stuck in there now. Good. You can't get out, but you didn't blow anything else up. All our stuff is hooked up. So F3, G, and hang on one second. We'll just turn that down real quick. Cool. So he's stuck in there. That means now... Oh, you can shoot through that. Beautiful. What means now is I can take the stasis chamber that we have and place it right here. That's the stasis chamber. Good. And you get to work. I might have to toggle it a little bit to get him to come over here. Well, he's up where I don't want him, but we'll see how this all works. So now I got to build power up to there. He blew the power off. Lovely. I hope he can't do that all the time. Okay. Now, what I should be able to do, with a little bit of goofing around, is I should be able to get all of these blocks placed where I want them. I didn't mean to hit you. I'm sorry. Tell me this is going to work, or I'm going to have to fiddle with you some more. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But anyhow, let's see. A laser drill goes right here. Can I not scroll on the thing? You there. You there. You there. We'll put an extra block there so I can walk around. I do apologize. It might be a little dark. I'll brighten it in post-processing or whatever. What did I do? Oh, normal. Thank you. Give me one of these. I want a tank. And then we need to bring power up here. Hope I have enough cable. I don't want to run it as far away from as we can. I'll just come over here and do this one like that to the back. We have power, we have progress. I just need to put one of those in there. And then we're going to give it a second to do all this stuff, and then I'll pull some of the speed upgrades and the efficiency upgrades that I've got laying around. And hopefully that should do the work. There we go, 10. The only problem is it's going to damage it over time. And I don't really want to run this one really quickly because I don't feel like making another one. But as long as it does 10 every time, we'll be good to go. That'll take a little bit of time. Fine. Awesome. Good. We can add upgrades, speed upgrades, efficiency upgrades, all kinds of upgrades in these laser drills as well as in the laser fluid base. It will do a few more things, but that's essentially all we need to do right now. Essentially. And because it's sitting in that stasis chamber right now, it can't do much of anything. Now, withers will heal over time, and what this needs to do is just absolutely slowly over time inhale the gas out of him, which kind of sounds a little weird, and then we'll have something to turn in a little bit. So I'm gonna let it sit here and run a little while. I might go do a few things, and I will be back with you guys later. That's apparently working better than I expected it to. I let it run for a little while, and we now have a bunch of stuff. Sure. Give me this, and then I'm gonna go down here and just, well, I can't shut the power off. I can shut you off, right? Now I gotta shut these off. Run with the signal. Run with the signal. Run with the signal. And run with the signal. Now, we're going to leave that alone. We're going to go take this back to the base and plug it into the thing, or I get deaded again. Alright, where did I put that thing? Right there. You come here. Place you in here. I need which particular thing is it? Reaching the barrier. And go. Alright, cool. So I was right. Alright, that's nice. We have a little bit of ether gas that if we need to, we can play with it later. I don't know if that's going to happen. That should have unlocked the ability to be able to go to the end. Interesting. Fuse Dragon's Breath, a little bit of XP, and then you want me to go in and kill the Ender Dragon. You're going to give me all of that fun stuff. The Citrus dire need. There seems to be no sign of the Enderlings at all. Their distress calls all seem to be automated, and we fear for the worst for their society. The darkness still remains, and the void is spread throughout what was a thriving subtropical paradise. What? Interesting. Well, that's going to be interesting. What are we going to get? You're going to give me Dragon Egg Seeds, a Dragon Egg Crux. I don't know why I need Dragon Eggs. Sure. I guess for the Draconic Bees, which give me Draconic Combs, which give me Draconic Comb Blocks, which give me Draconic Dust, which is Draconic Chunks, which is Uprig pretty... yeah, okay, whatever. Anyhow, I think that's enough for right now. This is probably going to be another fairly short episode because a lot of this is just setting up automation and building things. But I will see you all in the next one where we're going to go to the end, probably hunt down a dragon, and then maybe do a little bit of exploration around these things. So I will see you all later. Thank you so much for watching.